Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is SK Crypto K, and today we are going to take a look at Elephant Money and all of the new changes now that Stampede version 5 is live, and what that means in regards to rebuilding the Elephant Treasury, the system overall, and what Stampede version 6 eventually means for the future of this project. Let's get into it.
Yo, appreciate your time and just know that I'm SK Crypto K, and today you should join my crypto club. Maybe by the end earn some dividends, so in advance I'ma thank you right now for that sub. Hey! Yo, let's go.
Thank you everybody for taking the time to watch this video. Let me preface everything by saying that I am not a financial advisor, and these are for entertainment and informational purposes only. So there is a lot to cover in this latest update, which you can find on the Medium article that was posted recently. But essentially, we will go over all of the latest details from this article and how it translates into the new governance section of the Reserve tab for your Trunk and Stampede. But to quickly review, right now the developer is taking a much needed break, but not before tracking down pesky bugs in our new governance contracts. The PEG support strategy was reporting the wrong amount in the UI, and that has now been corrected. But jumping down here to start with the Stampede bond float, he says this is not one of the strategies for the PEG support. However, it's important because the amount of unpaid bonds represented by the Stampede bond float is used as the oracle for computing rewards for both trunk rewards and the performance pool. So taking a look at the governance tab, which has a lot of information right now, you have the Stampede bond float, which again is the unpaid debt owed to the Stampede users. However, when we look over at the trunk staking, in addition to the performance rewards right here, these numbers are calculated by a set APR percentage. So in regards to staking rewards, 10% APR of the bond float is paid out to the trunk stakers, which gives you the percentage APR you are looking at here. Then coming over to performance pool, that is a 1% APR paid out to the maintainers of the Elephant Money ecosystem. So this includes the dev and marketing dollars. But the key thing for these three is that the more unpaid bonds, the better adoption and growth is. So in other words, the more people that are getting into Stampede and adding fresh capital and compounding and generating more of the Stampede bond float, the healthier that this APR will become, as well as the performance rewards that go into marketing this product. So understanding the mechanics of these three functions and knowing that minting trunk and interacting with the trunk dApps here is vital in regards to the overall ecosystem at large, including Elephant token. And since everything is circular, just know that the larger that this Elephant treasury is growing right here, currently at 64 trillion tokens, remember that as this gets larger, it puts the parabolic squeeze on the Elephant value, which between all of the new treasuries is able to pay out all of the Stampede debt with relative ease.
But we can break that down at a later time.
Moving over to the next area, which is the Elephant buyback strategy. On the governance tab, this will take 10% of the BUSD treasury balance every single day and gradually buy back Elephant as the funds stream into trunk minting. This mitigates abrupt changes in volatility and adds constant buy pressure to Elephant for the treasury and liquidity. Meaning, when you look at the governance tab, you'll see the Elephant buyback strategy, which is currently at $6.9 thousand. So where this money's coming from right now is when you scroll down to the BUSD treasury,
that buyback is taking 10% of this amount
and taking a portion of it every day and buying Elephant token and throwing it into the Elephant treasury right here,
in addition to taking Elephant token and pairing it with BUSD to strengthen that liquidity,
which will be another important point that we look at in a little bit. So coming back up here, basically if anyone wanted to come hit this buyback button for roughly a $4 or $5 fee, then these funds alone will go to where they're supposed to.
And then lastly, the trunk peg strategy.
This takes 5% APR on the elephant treasury and is used to buy trunk, which is then added to the liquidity for trunk BUSD.
So if somebody were to come hit this trunk peg strategy button located here,
then it's going to take 462 million elephant tokens, which again come out of this elephant treasury at a rate of 5% APR, not daily, and will buy trunk and then pair it with the trunk BUSD liquidity pair on Pancake,
which you can see right here that is heading up to peg,
though it will remain volatile for this month of May as all the cobwebs get shaken out and the people who want to leave the system can go ahead and leave.
And just know that after this hits 99-cent peg once again, then the system can kick it into overdrive with cheaper minting
and utilizing all of that extra money
to fuel the engine that will grow the elephant treasury faster than we saw before.
And taking a brief look over at the trunk BUSD peg, you can see that we were always stable around 99 cents beforehand. Then the dreaded day occurred.
However, the system has come back online right about here,
and it's making its way back up to peg gradually. And another way to look at this is over on Pancake Swap. You can see how the trunk BUSD liquidity has deepened over time. And for trunk to regain a 99-cent peg, you need these two numbers right here to reach parity. So with BUSD only at 6.4 million versus 6.9 million, this gap will close the more people are adding fresh funds or just participating in Stampede in general.
So to close off this Medium article,
the new governance strategies run passively and are immune to manipulation by bad actors. They are driven at a high level by the APRs that are derived from the treasuries and the core system metrics of Stampede, which cannot be manipulated outside of normal capital allocation.
We have entered the long-term sustainability phase of our platform and architecture.
Or in other words, version 5 is one step closer to making this entire ecosystem autonomous, where it governs itself. It has the community buttons on the governance tab. That way the liquidity can move to where it needs to. And whether BT is around or not, the system will sustain itself.
However, there are still some more exciting things coming to version 6 that we'll get into at the end of the video, but before that,
let's take a look at the elephant token price.
Damn, someone dumped right there, huh?
No, it's not as bad as you think.
So for one, it already looks like that red candle was eaten up a good bit by people that have been following the price.
But the actual trends that you see right here are following what BNB is doing.
So I want you to take note that whenever you see large sells on the chart like this, it does not necessarily mean those are always people selling out of the system. Because when you look at these two dumps right here, you'll actually see on the BNB price, it correlates with the two dumps that happened right here.
And another way to look at that is by comparing it to the overall market.
So when you see Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB all following the same trend, and now Elephant happens to be following it,
this is only but a temporary concern for the ecosystem.
Because in earlier videos before the exploit, when I had this same exact chart up, you saw that as the market was going down, Elephant money was outpacing those charts and looking green every single time you looked at it because
the Elephant BUSD liquidity pair was strong.
And before I show you that, I just want you to pay attention to how we're mimicking the market, because majority of Elephant token at the moment is dependent on the BNB pair.
Which, if you look here on Pancake Swap, is evident
by showing that we have $22.7 million in the BNB Elephant pair that hit its all-time high before the exploit, and here we are trading sideways. Now, 22.7 million on the Elephant BNB pair
is vastly different from the Elephant BUSD pair,
which is only sitting at 15.32 million. Essentially showing that on both of these Elephant pairs, because of the Elephant Treasury exploit, it's temporarily hurt the ecosystem in the sense that the liquidity is not as deep as it once was. So when it comes to the overall market, we're following more closely than what we used to before.
So hopefully that makes sense.
Nah, I'm still a little confused.
That's okay. You'll be all right.
So overall, when it comes to looking at these liquidity pairs, just understand that the system has proven to work. And when left uninterrupted, everything parabolically goes up the way it's supposed to. So all it takes for us to get back to where we once were
is continue using the platform like normal.
And over time, this elephant treasury is going to get back up into the 200 trillion range, 250, 300 trillion.
Which is going to put a parabolic squeeze on the chart like we saw before.
And we'll easily be able to pay out any of the Stampede bond float that exists because the value of elephant will trounce the amount of trunk owed to Stampede users.
It's the same model in that regard before, but better.
Some other key changes to be aware of is that the trunk token is no longer dependent on the 75% BUSD to 25% elephant token model. As detailed in the previous Medium articles, everything is handled by single asset pools for the treasury in addition to the pancake liquidity pairs. And so because of such, your overall transaction fees are cheap all across the board,
except for this area on the governance tab.
But nothing's changed in regards to native staking roll and claims. Those are cheap. Depositing and withdrawing is cheap. When you come down into the Stampede, anytime you roll or what used to be a more expensive claim process,
that is now cheap.
And some other changes have occurred as well, such as there used to be a 2.5% tax whenever you would hit that claim button. In the past, I would have received my full 34 trunk. However, my payout would have gone up 2.5% more than just my 34 trunk, which puts a little bit of a squeeze in closing the gap between payouts and maturity.
But now that system's gone.
Also, whenever it came to rolling, there was a baked in 1% tax that if you had a reward of 100 trunk, for example, and you hit the roll button, you would actually only see about 99 trunk hit your bond amount due to a 1% tax plus a little extra. I calculated it out to be 1.14%. And then if you had an upline partner, then you were actually getting 0.5% back to you, but it would show up in your pending airdrop area.
But before you harp on all that, just know that 1% tax is completely eradicated.
So if I rolled 32.26,
you'll see that my bond amount went up exactly 34.3 trunk.
Now, there does need to be some changes in regards to some language on the site, such as your stats tab, because it says stuff like trunk being burned when it's not anymore.
But also the fact that reward credits are no longer generated on minting and redemption,
which is all part of the old system. So this is no longer relevant. Everything has been covered in the actual Medium article on how it's been replaced. And also the white paper will need to be updated soon, but that should be rolled out sometime this coming week.
Now, in regards of what version 6 of Stampede will look like,
pretty much no major changes are going to come to the formulation of how all the treasuries are working with each other to beef up the elephant treasury and the liquidity pairs. But the main takeaway is that this entire trunk and Stampede platform is going to become
an NFT.
And specifically the reasoning to do that is so that your entire accounts now become transferable to different wallets,
which now opens up several possibilities for you.
So for example, this account that I'm showing you right now is my very first Stampede account where I opened it up on a hot wallet. And so far, mainly what I've been doing is letting my rewards build up. I claim out that trunk and then I send it to my Stampede account on my cold storage wallet.
But by making this an NFT, he is also building in the aspect of merging different accounts.
So I can pretty much stop whatever I'm doing here and there will be a migrate tab that will take this entire account and just merge it with my main account. And every bit just like the airdrop feature here, when you send something to someone, it's going to show up in a middleman pending area, which you can then allow the merge to happen or not. And by having this middleman, it is crucial to the security of a migrate feature because it stops random people who want to mess with you from just trying to merge some random Stampede NFT into your account, which could do a number of things. It could reset your daily rewards. It can wreak havoc in another way. But all of that is stopped by putting in a checks and balance, which is a pending section. So that is really exciting news, especially if your Stampede is on a hot wallet and you one day want to move it to a cold storage. That way you are further protected from bad actors out there.
Wow, man, that is pretty bullish. Cool. What else is coming out in version 6?
Aha, that has everything to do with the elephant token. So now in version 6, whenever that comes out, I don't have a timeline, but just know you are going to be getting wrapped elephant token, which is going to play a key role in the partnerships that BT formed at Bitcoin 2022's conference. Meaning, without having to add liquidity to other blockchains, you can interact with a wrapped elephant in order for these future partners to do what they intend for the elephant money ecosystem. But just know that this month of May, again, is considered the recovery month. Because in his own words, all the deals at BTC 2022 will come into play in the months of June and beyond. And once that big money starts to hit the elephant ecosystem, I would hope that you are in the position that you want to be in Trunk and Stampede and Elephant Token.
What else does wrapped elephant mean? Can I finally transfer elephant to a new account?
Why, as a matter of fact, you can. So, for anybody that may have their elephant token on a hot wallet and would like to move it over to a cold storage, by wrapping your elephant, you are now immune to the 10% transfer tax.
Whoa, that's big. I wish that existed before.
Yep, very bullish news, and I think it'll make a lot of people happy. Also, scrolling down on the elephant page, do not forget about these important metrics right here. Remember, the elephant price right now, if you compared the supply of 1 quadrillion and adjusted it down to 21 million like Bitcoin, you're essentially looking at a $3.88 Bitcoin. And you're going to have a really good buying opportunity on the elephant chart when this graveyard rebalance happens, because only 670 billion more tokens need to make it into the graveyard for this system to trigger. So 670 billion, which is collected on half of the 10% tax on every single elephant buy and sell, essentially means that we need a trading volume of 13.4 trillion more tokens to cycle between all the transactions and sells, which will then trigger a sell event that is anticipated by the community. And if you pay attention, you might be able to score a cheaper elephant token with this systematic approach. So don't forget, 10 trillion tokens is what builds up between 50 and 51%. Half of those tokens, so 5 trillion tokens, are then dumped on the elephant chart and then immediately paired with the remaining 5 trillion tokens to strengthen the elephant BNB liquidity pair right here. And then the cycle repeats. So be sure to pay attention to this metric for the next 1 to 2 weeks. So yep, everybody, that is pretty much it for this video. If you found it valuable and would like to support me by joining my Stampede, then please find my referral wallet address in the description below, and I kindly thank you in advance. And if you decide to sign up under me, then please be sure to direct message me on Telegram with your wallet address so then I can enter you into my monthly raffle, which happens to be on Sunday, May 8th, this time around, where I will be rewarding $2,500 split across a community voted 15 people. So be sure to get in and make a deposit underneath my Herd account, and be sure to stay there, because I know you can change your partner at any time, but just know that there are random checks. And if you were in before and then dropped out, well, let's just say you won't be eligible again. But anyway, that is it for this video, everybody. If you have any questions, then please leave them in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, then please smash that like button and hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And if you vibe with me, then please feel free to join my Telegram community. And yes, until next time, folks, please stay safe out there, stay blessed, and make good choices with your crypto.
Whoa, man, I still can't wrap my mind around wrapped elephant. You can do so many marketing tactics with that, like an elephant rapping about wrapped elephant. Yeah, get it?
Please, just go away.